Okay, Wayne, video 2. Now for anybody else who might be viewing this, because this is open to the public on YouTube, I'm making this specifically for a friend of mine. So if you want to talk about how lousy this video is, go talk to somebody else, because frankly I don't care. Okay, Wayne, you're thinking of lube as it relates to cast bullets and the lubing on the cast bullet. Now this is a .45 Colt case that's already primed and belled, and it's belled for the purpose of being able to get the heel of the bullet into the casing before you actually seat it. Okay, now these are some Linotype, about 230 grains or so, size to 454 for the Colt. Now these are some cases that are once fired but have not been sized or primed. Now I mentioned in the last video that the cases have to be lubed unless you are using carbide cases. I don't use carbide cases. So the next question you're probably going to ask is, well, okay, I don't know what you have in terms of your Dillon press and if those dies are carbide or not. But you're probably going to ask, well, if you can get carbide cases for pistol, why don't we just use carbide cases for rifle, and then I don't have to worry about this lube business? As far as I know, rifle cases cannot be bought lubed, and the reason is because there is a taper in the cases. Now here's the 30-06 case, and it's got a taper in it, and it's got a bottleneck, and all of this has to be squeezed back down to standard size before you can reload it. Now we'll go over those in the next video. Well, what I'm going to do now, as you can see, I use alcohol, just regular old denatured or rubbing alcohol to clean cases. I also do cleaning in a vibrator. I did get one of those recently. Now this is the lubing pad here. You have to lube the insides of the necks on the rifle cases. You do not have to lube the insides of the necks on these straight cases. Now loading for rifle or loading for pistol, it's all basically the same thing. You're either using a 2-die set or a 3-die set, depending on whether it's a straight case or a bottleneck case. Okay, I've got the pad. Now in the old days, I've seen videos, or not videos, we didn't have them back then, it was all paper books and stuff. And I've seen people put the lube on their hands and then rub it on the case. I've seen pictures of a towel being set down and then lube put on the towel and rub it across the towel. But this is what I have. And the way that I work this generally is to just dab some on the pad. You should be able to see the dabs. And then I set the cases on. And then I rub it across. And now I can feel the lube on this case. Okay, let me readjust here, and then we'll run these up my RCBS Junior. So holding on. And the other question that came to my mind was whether or not you have some means of being able to prime your cases. Yeah, I got to get my makeshift spent primer set up here. Anybody watching who thinks this is okie, you're exactly correct. My daddy's from Texas and my mama is from Oklahoma, and that's what we are, Okies. Okay, so this works nice and smooth. Everything works nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Because we have lubed cases. So then obviously the next step would be to, let me readjust. I got wet alcohol here on my towel. Clean off the cases. You do not want oily cases going into the chamber of anything. Okay, so you're saying, well, you're doing an awful lot of handling of this stuff. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. I could buy carbide dies, and the way that I understand it, a carbide die is a ring of carbide inside of the die case that resizes. The disadvantages of carbide, if you've got a taper in the case, the carbide is just a ring, and it's going to have the case sized the same size. So if you got a tapered case, and I can't think offhand, 9mm I believe is a tapered case, then you're going to wind up with something entirely different. Okay, that is pistol. You have to lube the case, not the die. You don't lube the die, you lube the case. Whether you're loading pistols or rifles. Okay. Let's go stop. This is video 2. We'll stop this.